Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean with BitcoinTradingLab.com. Let me get the endless loop out of here real quick. Okay, here we are. So, anyways, we just finished a new article and it was really fascinating. I was kind of excited about sharing it, so I decided I'd also share it on YouTube. We haven't posted on here as much as we thought we might be able to since the summer, but that's okay. It'll come soon. We're mostly blogging and writing, and we've just been really busy, helping the people we're working with and stuff already. So that's okay. It's all good. So anyways, I noticed some patterns. Actually, I was the one who kind of found this one. A lot of people talk about the Fibonacci sequence, and more so when you hear about it with trading, it's going to be Fibonacci retracements. But I noticed something. I was kind of looking at the numbers, and I noticed that the numbers themselves actually seem to have something that could be maybe significant as far as technical signals with the price of Bitcoin itself. So anyways, if you don't know much about the Fibonacci sequence, basically the Fibonacci sequence is it's basically a pattern that was discovered by a man named Leonardo Fibonacci circa 1200 AD. He was actually writing in a book about a pattern he noticed with rabbits, and the more he kind of looked at the pattern, basically it was rabbits and generations, and having the rabbits having rabbits with the other rabbits and so on. And he saw a pattern, and somehow or another I think he recognized it somewhere else basically, and then he's kind of like, whoa, like this is significant. So that kind of is where it started. You might have heard of the golden ratio, stuff like that. It's legit. It is legit. I've used it. We use it a lot with trading. It's absolutely kind of scary how real it is. And how often you'll see it appear in stuff like finance. So, anyways, there's a great write-up on it. You can follow our Medium blog at Bitcoin Trading Lab. If you just search, I'm sure, Medium and Bitcoin Trading Lab, maybe it should come up. Or if you search inside Medium, you can find it. We're calling this the Bitcoin sequence. So basically, if you look here we have the sequence. We have 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. And basically what the Fibonacci sequence is if you go to the third number is going to be a product of the two before it. So every third number you look at will be a product of the two before it. So we have 0 plus 1 is 1. We have 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 3 is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, and so on. It's represented here in the spiral as well. And basically, I noticed, I've been in Bitcoin, a lot of since, forever, like 2012 or 13 or something. I'm not trying to say like, but anyways, I've been interested in it ever since then. And I've been, I bought some around that time. And so, yeah, it's just fascinated me ever since, et cetera, and so on. So I happen to just kind of think back to like times of how the markets behave. A lot of times when we're making price predictions, a lot of it we'll look at charts and stuff, but a lot of it's just like, yeah, like what we're charting is like, yeah, I could have told you that without charting it because I've seen the behavior, So so we have 0 to start, okay? So the price of Bitcoin did start out around 0. Obviously, needless to say, it was as close as it could get to 0. And in 2013, sorry. In 2013, it made its first spree up to, it was around 1200, but that's close enough. That's another margin of error that it could signify that 1 here in the sequence. And that was right around the time when Silk Road kind of started getting a lot of buzz and hype, and people were like, hey, like you can buy whatever you want, drugs or murder for hire on the internet. It's pretty crazy. And a lot of you remember that. And basically it's like they're using this stuff called Bitcoin to buy it. And that was Bitcoin's first major PR burst. The first notoriety kind of rush of information, and what did wonders for the price, and that in return pushed the price higher. people crowd in, FOMO, you name it, all that stuff. That was the OG FOMO, was that run up. So it did go to around 1200, and shortly thereafter it crashed. It did not hold there, and it didn't hold, it did almost, gosh, I don't know, 70, 80, damn near 100%, not quite 100% retracement, but it went all the way back to, I believe, around the hundreds, if I remember correctly. And then it was kind of like, people were like, hey, like, well, what is this stuff? Like, why did it just go so high and crash? It was a lot harder to jump in right there than it was like now when we see a pullback or, crash. It's like, hey, buying opportunity, But a lot of us did. I got in around 200. I remember it went back up. We're like, shoot, like, should we buy some? Like, and like we kind of started to like look into like, how do we buy it? And I think the first exchange we were using was BTCE way back in the day. And I don't even think Coinbase was out though. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it came out soon after. But we bought it around 220, and that's really besides the point. So anyways, we had our first integer met, came back down, crashed, okay? Crashed or corrected. It hit that resistance point. So next, it took a while from 2013, besides the price going up to around 500-600 here or there, and doing even dropping back down to around 150, which I remember like was like everybody's like, gosh, I wish I bought more. We bought a little bit more around like 250 or so, and but hey, that's Bitcoin. So anyways, and it wasn't until the end of 2016, beginning of 2017 that it went back up. It went for another push. And this was the next time it went back up and almost hit a double top, almost. Not quite, but it went right around that $1,200 range. And here I think we met this third integer. And soon after hitting that area, it did a pretty sharp knee-jerk correction, and just really, it wasn't too major, but it was about around a 32% correction down to the 900s. And but it seemed like 1,000 kind of was like an area where it was, it was cheap, and it had a lot of support, so it didn't last there long, and the price continued higher. And now it chilled around the 1,200, and I think even went up, like once it passed that level, it's kind of like, hey, like this is going to go on a bull run. So that was a buying signal there. Anyways, pretty soon it went on and tested around 1,800 and 2,000 level, if you remember. And that would have been around May-ish. And around that time, a ton of other coins just going off. I mean, that's kind of when the madness started this past year. So now we have 4 integers met. When it hit that, it hit resistance, pulled back some. He went down back to around 1,500. I can't remember it exactly. I have CoinMarketCap open, but I almost prefer just to kind of recap this stuff. Let's take a look from like April-ish of this year. Okay. So yeah, around, end of May, early June is when I think right around here would be, it wasn't a major, this was one of the smaller kind of pullbacks, was around the $2,000 range, but somewhere around here it did dip back, it did do that behavior we'd seen. It hit that energy, the resistance level, and it gave us that, kind of marked 2,000 as not only emotional level, but as kind of a level on this Fibonacci sequence we're looking at. So anyways, as you remember, it eventually, naturally, and quite, I thought it wasn't gonna go up as quick as it did at that point. I was like, okay, wow, that was it's gone up quite a bit. It's probably gonna like relax here for a while. But no, it went right through. It tested 2,100, 2,200, went through those, and besides some seesawing around a bit, it really had no major resistance up until 3,000. So it went there relatively quick. Yet, I guess it did bobble around a bit. Actually, that should be around here, to be honest. Kind of hard to tell with this. I don't know where they came up with these numbers, but okay, maybe we can look here. So as you can see, yeah, right, and right around here is this. You see the resistance that's meeting right here, 2933. I mean, it's meeting major resistance. We call that 3,000. That's 3,000. It's not going to be on the dot, but it's going to be darn close. Look at that, 2979. So it hit that. It hit that that energy we're looking for. And look, there's that 2,000 I told you about. It went up there, pulled back. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's there. So we hit that 3,000, and then we had a sharp decline, and so we had a little bit of not quite like it was basically it's a slight crash. It's more than a correction. It's not end of the world crash, but it's a crash. When the price drops more than 10%, it's more in a correction. I mean, that's typically the rule of thumb with stocks. So there's no reason not to use that with cryptocurrencies. 10% is considered a correction. 20-30% that's a crash. Anyways, so we got almost a 32% correction. That's about 1/3 of the way. Just under. I mean, this is another. So there's another integer. 32%. Wow. Why do we keep seeing these numbers? So anyways, we continue on. So as you notice, the Fibonacci sequence skips 4,000. Well, it kind of skips it here too. Do you see it pull down again? No, it goes through that. And in fact, it gets to around 4,100, 4,200, and a bull runs up to 4,600. And it's not until it gets to 5,000, or I'm sorry, to right near 5,000, close enough, like I told you with 3,000. It's close enough when we're getting up here a few hundred away, that, yeah, we can consider that. So, anyways, God damn it, I'm looking at the market cap. Apologies. All right, we're gonna have to move over here. So, anyways, there's a 3,000 drop off. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, comes down here, and the numbers are still about the same. So, now let's find 4,000 again. It's 3,900. It goes sideways here a little bit. It doesn't crash though. It has a little bit of struggle, I think, because it's an emotional level, but it really, it doesn't have a major pullback. And we continue on, and it has a little trouble here, but we don't see a major pullback again until we hit the $5,000 level, or we get pretty close to it. And that was, let's find that. And once again, I'm looking at the market cap. Apologies. Okay, so anyways, yeah, there's really, see, here we're crossing 4,000. I apologize about before. There's really we didn't have a drop off at 4,000. Do you see that? 4,000 is right on here. We didn't have a drop off. It goes a little sideways, has a little bump and grind, but it continues up. It goes on, tests 4,500, has a little, blip, blah, 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 nothing too major. But then it continues on to hit that mark. It should be in here. 4021, 4079, and we hit that 5,000, and then we have our correction, quite a big one. It wasn't a straight down crash like you really see here, but it was a crash nonetheless. Just a little bit drawn out, painfully drawn out. Over here, that's a sharp decline. And so, yeah, that's basically the idea, is that if you look at the charts in the history, a pattern may or may not be emerging right now. And I'm calling it the Bitcoin sequence to give it some ode to the Fibonacci sequence. And basically the idea is that the next major event that will happen will be around 8,000. here, yeah, I mean, we're gonna see it's gonna zig and zag. It's volatile. Stuff with forks is kind of changing it too. I mean, there are institutions coming out which can really jade, the beauty and like naturalness of an asset, priced, priced in a market, a free market and whatnot. So it will be interesting to watch, but this is kind of my prediction. I'm going to make we'll keep making some more videos as we get closer, see what happens when we get there. We're going to actually try to play it, or we're not going to get crazy with it, because it hasn't, it's just a theory at this point. It's not science. It might, and really more likely it'll probably take a decline around 7,500 because more and more people get squirrely. They're like, hey, I'm not going to push my luck. There was once a time when, it was like the price would hit exactly like these levels, or at least like if we thought it was going to go to like, say like 4,500, it would hit 4,499, but more and more it's not doing that. And it's hitting that top and those levels a little sooner, or it's being, or the floors are kind of appearing a little bit before where we're marking. So, and that's because a lot of people are doing the same type of stuff, we think. But anyways, it will be really interesting to watch. I'm not going to keep blabbing on. I apologize. I don't like to dress up. A lot of people get on YouTube and dress up. I don't do that. People know me, my friends, I make stuff. We trade for fun. A lot of people use our service, BitcoinTradingLab.com, or some, some people trade with us and we shoot each other ideas, etc. And say, hey, like, what do you think about this or that? What do you think about that? And I am who I am. We don't dress up. We don't try to act fake. We don't put on a suit and say that we're consultants, blockchain consultants, or blockchain experts. No, I don't like that garbage. So anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our super casual junkie channel, and you'll see more cool videos like this though, at least.